What's up guys, this is Cher talking and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I bring you some different type of news. Square Enix just announced its SaGa Emerald Beyond during Nintendo Direct of today, and we can finally talk about the new SaGa game. We knew it was being developed because Kawazu and Ishikawa were talking about it on different interviews, but we didn't have any idea what it was supposed to mean. Name of the game leaked because it was registered, and now we can finally see. I will be watching the video first entirely with you guys. I already watched it, I'm not faking it here. And then I will be pausing and commenting some of the things. We also have information from Square Enix website. So let's just click the play button a little here.
A new saga begins. A multi-layered RPG full of rich stories awaits in SaGa Emerald Beyond. There are 6 heroes to choose from. A young man who fights with sentient puppets. A witch disguised as a schoolgirl to mask her identity. A crime-fighting duo chasing down a mysterious organization. A songstress mech who lost her voice and body. And a king of darkness who was recently reawakened. Select a hero, then follow their journey through 17 interconnected worlds as they strive to achieve their goals. How the story unfolds is in your hands. The choices you make can unlock different paths, more than ever before seen in the SaGa franchise. Fight in timeline battles, turn-based combat in which turn order is crucial to victory. Use special techniques to control the order of actions, or activate team combos to swing the tide of battle in your favor. SaGa Emerald Beyond launches on Nintendo Switch next year.
Okay, now that we have watched it, we can talk about some interesting stuff. Well, the character design is the same one as Romancing Saga Universe. It's not Tomomi Kobayashi anymore, at least not mainly. She may make some different art, but it seems like she's passing the torch, just like it happened with the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei series. I find it very similar, although I still love Tomomi Kobayashi art style, and it's amazing. This one is also amazing in a different way. And the game is very similar to Saga Scarlet Grace. If you love that game, you know what to expect. It's a very good one, but it comes with some problems for some people that don't like two open world games. Okay, now we remove the sound from the video so that we can pause, discuss what's happening on the screen. Well, the first interesting aspect is what I said. This new protagonist seems to live in a modern era, and he is wearing clothes that look like modern. So, Tasunori Mido. This character here is the puppeteer master. He creates creatures that can be controlled by him, and it's interesting because there's an officer here. So no, yeah, I'll be happy to chip in with this cathedral project of yours. So he's probably following some instructions and helping someone. Then we have Bonnie Blair and Fermina Franklin. I believe that Bonnie Blair is probably related to Bonnie and Clyde, characters from popular culture, and they are working together. And, well, if it's not another agent, Officer Blair here, and it looks like a me found or person of interest. It looks like they are on different sides of the same story. They are probably the characters that have more relationship, and they are both gunners from what it seems. One looks like she is from the Western culture, the other one looks like it's from the Eastern culture. So, very interesting to see two different sides. And here we saw the Dark Lord attacking. Well, I don't know his name yet, we want to see it. And then we see the robot that, well, shall talk more about that robot in a few. Here we have the witch, and this screen showcases all the 6 protagonists. We have the 2 gunners on the right side. They have their story more interconnected. The protagonist is probably a little more reserved because he creates creatures that can be used by him. Maybe his story is just that. He plays with those creatures and nothing else. Maybe it's a standalone, I don't know. I found it interesting that he reminds me a little of a mix between Polka and Leon. He has a gun that looks like Leon gun, and he uses a sword that is red. It could be a fire sword, but he's just wielding modern clothing. So, a very interesting mix of different references. Then this which people are saying could be Matcha. I don't know why it would be Matcha unless this is the same world as Saga Scarlet Grace and in a different time. And there's 2 white cats in her hat. Interesting. But she looks very different when she is faking herself as a school girl. Then here on the top we have this new songstress that lost her body. I don't know if you will be able to restore your body, but it looks like it will be some type of suspense storyline where you have to find what could have happened so that you lost your body. You probably lost your memories as well. So I'm pretty excited to play because I like robots and there's some hidden meaning behind it as well. And here we have the Shadow Lord, Dark Lord, I don't know how to call him. It looks like he may be too similar to Barthélemy. People on Universe will love this. And he was just awakened. It looks like he may have the potential to be the main villain of the game, but even if he's not, he probably has some relation to it. So I find it very interesting that all characters are way too different, and reminds me a little more about Saga Frontier 1 than Saga Scarlet Grace, where we had 4 medieval characters that in the end they were always fighting the same villain, and they didn't have too much about themselves to differentiate from each other besides personality. I'm talking about culture stuff and environment. So I don't know if you'll be able to walk in all different worlds with all the protagonists. Maybe some will be restricted, but that's already interesting enough. So let's move a little and see what else they showcase. The name is Tsunamori Mido, and you can see 4 different creatures that he created. They look a little generic, but it was expected. They are also running this game on the same engine as Saga Scarlet Grace. The graphics may not please everyone, it's a low-budget project, and they even intensified the filter that they use it to kinda look like a painting, I don't know. So let's go. The second protagonist is Mia, the witch that people think it's Matcha. This is her school version. Then the next we have Bonnie and Fermina, the new fight cop duo. It's interesting that they are presented in like a duo, but you can still select one or the other when starting the game. Bonnie is the Western culture. She's probably related to Bonnie and Clyde. Then we have Fermina, that's probably related to some personal figure as well, but from the Eastern side, and she really looks like it. She's a sniper, the other one probably uses different guns. But besides being gunner, it looks like Bonnie likes to fight with martial arts, and Fermina is using a very heavy gun, more like a flamethrower. Then the songstress Mac, Diva number 5. This is interesting because it has a code name and not a real name. We don't know her name. And she probably forgot about her story or her past. And the robot is kinda... The next one is the songstress Mac, Diva number 5. She doesn't have a name, like I said. She probably doesn't have any memory of what happened in her past. And she doesn't have a body as well. This is the body. And probably some sort of mascot like Sensei was. They're trying to create something new. And will be the most different character to play with, I'm sure. Then we have the Gizmal King, Sugnas. Very interesting name, unique. And Gizmal King, I don't know what that means, but people are loving him because he looks like Barthélemy. But he's kinda, well, young, and he's using a short weapon there. And now we can see the selector screen where you can choose a protagonist, and in the end there's just 5 stories. Even though there are 6 protagonists, the gunners are considered a duo. And you can see that they are showing the times you completed each storyline, because it probably has way too many different endings, and maybe we can even play as a secret character, who knows. But I find it interesting that, well, you can just restart playing, and that will be a new game plus of sorts, just like they had in the past. And look on the worlds, they are way too different. We have this one here that looks like a place that's been destroyed, a dystopian future, also full of magic, and well, he creates stuff. And then we have this place here that looks a little more futuristic. And then the third one is showing the witch, and this is more of a medieval world, very different than before. And then we go back to modern culture. There are pizzas everywhere here, even something that looks like an iPhone. Some makeup stuff. This other world here looks like, I believe, current JP or something. He still finds some mythical creatures that is asking, "You're a watcher, right? But why are you just spacing out?" You can choose different answers to alter the outcome. And on this moment, we can see the witch interacting with one of the puppeteer creatures. So their stories are interconnected in a way. And, well, this is probably someone that you can recruit. And you can see another futuristic world when you play with the mech. And there are 3 different outcomes there. And they say that this time you have lots of different outcomes based on the answers you give. And look on this. We have a party of 5 members, and this is SaGa. Totally SaGa. We have someone that looks like an executive, a puppet. Then we have a witch that is using a rapier. That's why they say that she looks like Matcha. There is a giant cat and some other playable character in the back that I cannot understand what exactly is. Probably a mage as well. This really looks like Matcha, right? And you can see that they kept the gameplay from SaGa Scarlet Grace that I love. It's very strategic. You can see the turn order, and it's very similar to Grandia as well. And depending on the attacks you use, you can change the turn order of your attacks and then make combos. Enemies can make combos as well, so it's very nice. The attack animation seems to be the same, but we have different weapons in Scarlet Grace. For example, there were no guns in Scarlet Grace. And here you can see some skills from the old, like there is Burst Slice and Scattered Petals, skills that you also find in Scarlet Grace. And there is a combo gauge there up, increasing to, well, 135%, just like Minstrel Song. So this is the end of the trailer. There's a lot of information, and I really enjoyed what I saw, and I'm very hyped. I want to play this when it launches. But then I got a link from Square Enix as well that just has extra info. They posted this introducing SaGa Emerald Beyond, a brand new RPG coming in 2024. A brand new entry in SaGa franchise offers player freedom, strategic combat, singing robots, and vampires. Get all the information here. And scrolling a little, you can see the puppet master in a magical character. Then there is more information. This game is coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, 5, PC, iOS, and Android. Well, a lot of different platforms save for Xbox. We're beyond, they are focusing on the Beyond, excited to tell you about it. And you can see, well, this character looks super cool using martial artists. And what is SaGa Emerald Beyond? It's an all-new, fully standalone RPG that brings together the very best elements of the beloved SaGa franchise. You can travel across 17 unique worlds. That's why this game was being developed for so long, which with their own aesthetic and culture, where you can meet a diverse cast of races, including humans, mechs, and vampires. Maybe this character is a vampire. It kind of makes sense. Look on this other character, very stylistic. So I really love this diversity. That's why I love the Shadow Hearts games, because the characters are just way too diverse and unique. And also many of the SaGa games are like that. You have a choice of 5 protagonists, well technically 6, because you choose a duo, who are guided by mysterious emerald waves. Embark on their journeys over these strangely beautiful worlds, all very different from the ones they live in, so they will traverse different cultures. You visit the interconnected 17 worlds via Beyond, a hub of the emerald waves, either through your own will or by chance. As for what the story you experience, it is in your hands. So, well, yeah, very, very unique. Then, with the freedom of the scenario system, as always, the story branches in many different ways depending on your choices. But here, I really hope that they do it different when compared to SaGa Scarlet Grace, that where if you visited an area through north or south, it will lead to different outcomes. It's much better if it was just by decisions and by choice. As the story unfolds, it becomes a tale of your own, not only affecting the path you walk, but also the multiple potential endings to each protagonist. Of course, regardless of your decision, sooner or later you have to fight. SaGa Emerald Beyond features a turn-based combat system that's easy to understand, yet offers plenty of depth. You have to make smart use of your party weapons and skills to overcome the many monsters and bosses that stand in your way, in what may be the best battles in the SaGa franchise yet. We all should agree that Scarlet Grace has the best battle system. At least that's what I heard from all the fans of the SaGa series. In short, it takes SaGa to a new generation, and it's a perfect entry for RPG fans yet to experience the franchise. Let's hope. The protagonist of SaGa Emerald Beyond, next up we introduce the playable heroes of this world-hopping epic, each of these characters have the rare ability to see emerald waves, beams of energy that connect each world and represent possible fates that await. That's interesting, much like, you know, multiple timelines and probably some events that cannot be changed or just belong to different interconnected storylines, or characters come from different worlds and have their own skills and abilities to explore. Let's meet the cast. Tsunanori Mido, a man that can manipulate Kugutsu, protecting the barrier around his city. Tsunanori comes from the long lineage of important Mido family of Miyako City, a world filled with traditional old-fashioned city streets that sprawl out from the central Gokakudo temple. He can control Kugutsu, or animated puppets, which bear their own will. So, very interesting. They probably have some relation to cultural stuff from JP as well. The last Great War destroyed the old societal and spiritual order alike in Miyako City, and ever since the city has been plagued with all kinds of supernatural phenomena. Tsunanori is selected for the cathedral, protect to investigate other worlds, and restore order to the spiritual realm. So his story is also a little bit of suspense, but not as much as the other character, I believe. With the Kagutsu accompanying him, he sets out on a journey into other worlds to find 4 elemental spirits to accomplish his task. So this is his main goal. Moving for Ameya Aisling, a witch in training living in secret as a schoolgirl. So she probably has 2 worlds to visit as well. School and her magical world. Ameya visits Miyako City from the Witchstone Pulchra, a world ruled by witches as part of her Witch in Training graduation exam. While in Miyako City, she assumes the identity of an 11-year-old schoolgirl named Yumeha Izumi and lives with Lolo, her cat familiar. So that cat is her familiar. But after being attacked by an unknown man, she loses practically all of her magical power to become weak so that we can start from zero. Will Ameya be able to get her magical power back and passes her final exam? It's interesting that she's a grown-up woman and she hides herself as a schoolgirl of 11 years only. So her main goal is to get back her magical powers. Then we have Cygnus, the Dismal King, driven from his throne. Cygnus is an immortal vampire who rules over Yomi, a world shrouded in darkness, as the Dismal King. Betrayed and driven from his throne, when he awakens, Cygnus finds himself in the Bright Throne, the gathering place of dead warriors. Whoa, that's very interesting. Bright Throne is always under siege from the forces of chaos. When faced with such overwhelming odds, what good will mortal fodder be? So King Dean has chosen to breathe life into the storied deceased that they may. That's very interesting and, well, usually the language that vampires speak. Incorporated into the king's army and sent into battle against the invading forces of disorder, Cygnus cannot help but wonder why he, an immortal being, now finds himself in the land of the dead. And thus the Dismal King sets out on a journey to recover his powers, accompanied by the other warriors in the squadron. Just like the witch, he's also in the search of power, but he wants his power back. Then Diva number 5. We have a picture here showcasing that she had a human body, and there's a strange figure here, probably, I don't know, her agent. A sumptuous mech who has lost her singing voice in her body. Diva number 5 is a mech designed to sing and dance from the world of Avalon. Avalon? Avalon? Avalon exists in Romancing Saga 2. Maybe a reference. Then she was a perfect entertainer, capturing the hearts of all those who saw her perform until one day she sang a forbidden song that she found in the Royal Museum, causing her memory and singing functionality to be sealed away. And then in one fell swoop she loses her livelihood and music itself. I believe that she was set up, someone wants to take her place or something like that, and placed this forbidden song in her eyes and she didn't know about it, and then sealed her own body. Interesting. In her despair, Diva discards her human body and soon receives an invitation to join the Society for the Exploration of Other Worlds. Going with the flow, she joins the group and leaves Avalon behind. So her goal is to probably get back her body and understand what happened to her. Then there's Bonnie and Formina, and 2 new recruits on the police force investigating an assassination attempt. Reminds me a little of Emilia. Former Marine Bonnie and renowned sharpshooter Formina are 2 police officers working together to find the truth behind the assassination attempt of the president of the capital city, a world studded with skyscrapers. with a key person of interest in the case claiming the president is a traitor and a mysterious triangle piece as their only clues. They set off on a journey through the older worlds to uncover the hidden truth behind the incident. Well, it looks like we have some very interesting playable characters. I can see kind of a wolf here, and I can see also a plant creature, a mech, and a blonde girl. 4 seasons, that's an attack that we see in Wii Universe as well. And that's it. Those are the protagonists, and they are more in a suspense criminal storyline. What is SaGa, they ask? We mentioned it early. SaGa Emerald Beyond is the ideal entry point for newcomers to the franchise, but if you never played SaGa game before, you may be curious about what to expect. In short, SaGa games are satisfying strategic turn-based RPGs that prioritize player freedom and narrative choice, and difficulty as well. The original creator of the series, Akitoshi Kawazu, took a lot of inspiration from Western computer RPGs like Ultima and Wizardry, and tabletop RPGs like Dungeons & Dragons, and SaGa Scarlet Grace is the epitome of that. It's just a tabletop RPG with gameplay from JRPG perspective. And then you can see the influence carried through the series' signature freeform scenario system, including in this brand new game. Rather than being guided through a preset narrative, you build your own. So that's why it leads to very different endings. Where you go, what you do, who you play as, and more can affect how the story plays out. 2 different players can have 2 wildly different experiences. And look on this picture. Guanyin is an attack from Wii Universe that Azami has access to and looks gorgeous here. Very nice. And in this picture here, all the playable characters are the puppets. We recently published a guide, an introduction to SaGa, which introduces you to the franchise and recurring elements and some of the greatest games. Well, this is beyond what we need to discuss in this video. The game is releasing on 2024 with no determined data yet, but I do believe it will be on the first quarter. This game is in development for quite some time, but it does look like it has way too many systems and it's kind of complex, too many worlds. I'm very excited about this game and I'll be playing on this channel on release and stream it. So, what do you think about this all? I love it. So, please stay here in the comment section, let's discuss this all. Thanks so much for watching, please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you soon in the next video or next live stream. Bye.